Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Your message was so cute.
Did you text me back? My phone's always on Do Not Disturb, so I don't even know.
Yes, you did. And mine too, actually. The only time it rings is at 5:45 to wake up.
The only time mine rings is if my children are calling, or Victoria, or my mama. That's about it. No.
Cool. Do you want to pray today? Assalamualaikum, Sister Sandra. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Speaking of long.
Sister Sandra, are you in the Instagram group? Would you like to be added?
So I was, but I can't find it now.
Okay. What's your Instagram?
Oh, actually, no, now I see it. Yeah, I did see a comment on it.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
But yes, ma'am, I can. I had to go turn my water off and stuff. But I can. Would you like for me to open up now, or?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, prayer. Oh Allah, I seek thy refuge from anxiety and grief, and I seek thy refuge from lack of strength and laziness, and I seek thy refuge from cowardice and niggardliness, and I seek thy refuge from being overpowered by debt and the oppression of men. O Allah, suffice thou me with what is lawful, to keep me away from what is prohibited, and with thy grace make me free from want and what is besides thee. Amen.
Amen. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Muhammad, and that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the exalted Christ, and the Honorable Minister Farrakhan is the Messiah in our midst. Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to start back our reading. I'm going to send the passcode to the group chat. And then we stopped at chapter 4, verse 17. And if there's anyone that would like to read, please put reader in the comment. And then at the end, we're going to discuss and share our thoughts. So yes, type reader if you would like to read. Okay, Sister Beatrice, I'm going to share. Okay, Sister Octavia, can you let me share, please? I'm going to share the screen and then you can start reading. Oh, okay. Sister Octavia, you made me host. Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I send you back the host so you can let people in? Because I won't be able to.
Yes, ma'am. I did that because I don't know how to let you share the screen.
Oh, you go on share screen and then you say allow multiple people.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
I don't see that option. Where would that be at?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's different on the phone. It's a little bit more difficult. You can make
I'm on my laptop. What'd you say?
Right where it says share screen.
Mm-hmm.
When you say share screen, there's like a little arrow, and then when you click it, it'll
Okay, I see it.
Yeah, it's perfect. Got it. Thank you.
Yes,
okay, start broadcast. So welcome, family. If you would like to read after Sister Beatrice, you can type reader in the comment, and I'm about to share the screen. So Sister Beatrice, you can start. And welcome to everyone.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, family. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. Repentance with Allah is only for those who do evil in ignorance, then turn to Allah soon. So these it is whom with Allah turns mercifully, and Allah is ever knowing, wise. And repentance is not for those who go on doing evil deeds until when death comes to one of them, he says, now I repent, nor for those who die while they are disbelievers. For such we have prepared a painful chastisement. O you who believe, it is not lawful for you to take women as heritage against their will, nor should you straiten them by taking part of what you have given them, unless they are guilty of manifest indecency, and treat them kindly. Then if you hate them, it may be that you dislike a thing while Allah has placed abundant good in it. And if you wish to have one wife in the place of another, and you have given one of them a heap of gold, take nothing from it. Would you take it by slandering her and doing her manifest wrong? And how can you take it when one of you has already gone into the other, and they have taken from you a strong covenant? And marry not women whom your fathers married, except what has already passed. This is surely indecent and hateful, and it is an evil way. Section 4, what women may be taken in marriage. Forbidden to you are your mothers and your daughters and your sisters and your paternal aunts and your maternal aunts and brothers' daughters, and sisters' daughters, and your mothers that have not suckled you, and your foster sisters, and your mothers of your wives, and your stepdaughters, who are in guardianship, born of your wives, to whom have gone in. And wives to whom you have gone in. But if you have not gone in them, there is no blame on you. And the wives of your sons, who are of your own loins, and that you should have 2 sisters together, except that what has already passed. Surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. Part 5. And all married women except those whom your right hand possesses are forbidden. This is Allah's ordinance to you. And lawful for you are all women besides those, provided that they seek them with your property, taking them in marriage, not committing fornication. Then, as to those whom you profit by marrying, give them their dowries as appointed. And there is no blame on you about who you mutually agree after what is appointed of dowry. Surely Allah is ever knowing, wise. And whoever among you cannot afford to marry free believing women, let him marry such of your believing maidens as your right hand possesses. And Allah knows best your faith. And you are sprung the one from the other. So marry them with the permission of their masters and give them their dowries justly. They being chaste, not fornicating, nor receiving, I need help with that word, paramours. Then if they are guilty, okay, thank you, ma'am. Then if they are guilty of adultery, when they are taken in marriage, they shall suffer half the punishment for free married women. This is for him among you who fears falling into evil, and that you abstain is better for you, and Allah is forgiving, merciful. Section 5, women's rights over their earnings. Allah desires to explain to you and to guide you into the ways of those before you, and to turn you mercifully, and Allah is knowing, wise. And Allah desires to turn you mercifully, and those who follow their lusts desire that you should deviate with a great deviation. Allah desires to make light your burdens, and man is created weak. O you who believe, devour not your property among yourselves by illegal methods, except that it is trading by your mutual consent, and kill not your people. Surely Allah is ever merciful to you. And whosoever does this aggressively and unjustly, we shall soon cast him into fire, and this is ever easy for Allah. If you shun the great things which you are forbidden, we shall do away with your evil inclinations and cause you to enter an honorable place of entering. And covet not that by which Allah has made of you excel others. For men is the benefit of what they earn, and for women is the benefit of what they earn. And ask Allah of his grace. Surely Allah is ever knowing of all things. And to everyone we have appointed heirs of that which parents and near relatives leave. And as to those with whom your right hand have ratified agreements, give them their due. Surely Allah is ever witness over all things. Section 6, disagreement between husband and wife. Men are the maintainers of women with what Allah has made some of them to excel others, and with what they spend out of their wealth. So the good women are obedient, guarding the unseen as Allah has guarded. And as to those on whose part you fear desertion, admonish them and leave them alone in the beds and chastise them. So if they obey you, seek not a way against them. Surely Allah is ever exalted, great. And if you fear a breach between the two, appoint an arbitrator from his people and an arbitrator from her. If they both desire agreement, Allah will effect harmony between them. Surely Allah is ever knowing, aware. And serve Allah and associate not with him, and be good to the parents and to the near of kin and the orphans and the needy and the neighbor of your kin and the alien neighbor and the companion in the journey and the wayfarer and those whom the right hand possesses. Surely Allah loves not such as are proud, boastful, who are niggardly and bid people to do niggardly and hide that which Allah have given them out of his grace. And we have prepared for the disbelievers an abasing chastisement, and those who spend their wealth to be seen of men and believe not in Allah, nor in the last day. And as for him whose companion is the devil, an evil companion is he. And what harm would it do them if they believe in Allah and the last day, and they spend that which Allah has given them, and Allah is ever knower of them. Surely Allah wrongs not the weight of an atom, and it is a good deed. He multiplies it and gives from himself a great reward. But how will it be when we bring from every people a witness and bring thee as a witness against these? On that day will those who disbelieve and disobeyed the messenger desire that the earth were leveled with them, and they can hide no fact from Allah. Section 7, Purification of the Soul. O you who believe, go not near prayer when you are intoxicated till you know what you say, nor after sexual intercourse, except you are merely passing by until you have bathed. And if you are sick or on a journey, or one of you have come from privy, or you have touched the woman, and you cannot find water, but take yourselves to pure earth, then wipe your faces and your hands. Surely Allah is ever pardoning, forgiving. Seest thou not those to whom a portion of the book was given? They by error and desire to make you err from the right way. And Allah best knows your enemies. And Allah is sufficient as a friend, and Allah is sufficient as a helper. Some of those who are Jews alter from their places and say, we have heard and we disobey, and say, excuse me, pardon me. Some of those who are Jews alter words from their places and say, we have heard and we disobey, and say, hear without being made to hear, and say, can someone help me with this? Rahina, distorting with their tongues and slandering religion. And if they had said, we hear and we obey and hearken and unzerna, it would have been better for them and more upright, but Allah has cursed them on account of their disbelief. So they believe not, but a little. O you who have given the book, believe in what we have revealed, verifying that which you have, before we destroy the leaders and turn them on their backs, or curse them as we cursed the Sabbath breakers. And the command of Allah is ever executed. Surely Allah forgives not that a partner should be set up with him, and forgives all besides that to whom he pleases. And whoever sets up a partner with Allah, he devises indeed a great sin. Hast thou not seen those who attribute purity to themselves? Nay, Allah purifies whom he pleases, and they will not be wronged a whit. See how they forge lies against Allah, and sufficient is this as a manifest sin. Section 8, Kingdom granted to Abraham's descendants. Hast thou not seen those to whom a portion of the book was given? They believe in sorcery and diviners, and say to those who disbelieve, these are better guided in the path than those who believe. Those are they whom Allah has cursed, and whomever Allah curses, thou wilt not find a helper for him, or have they a share in the kingdom. But when they would not give to the people even the speck of a date stone, or do they envy the people for that which Allah has given them of his grace? But indeed, we have given to Abraham's children the book and the wisdom, and we have given them a great kingdom. So of them is he who believes in him, and of them is he who turns away from him, and hell is sufficient to burn. Those who disbelieve in our messages, we shall make him enter fire. As often as their skins are burned, we shall change them from other skins, and they may taste the chastisement. Surely Allah is ever mighty, wise. And those who believe and do good deeds, we shall make them enter gardens wherein flow rivers, to abide in them forever. For them therein are pure companions, and we shall make them enter a pleasant shade. Surely Allah commands you to make over trusts to those worthy of them, and that which you judge between people, you judge with justice. Surely Allah admonishes you with what is excellent. Surely Allah is ever hearing, seeing. O you who believe, obey Allah and obey the messenger and those in authority from among you. Then if you quarrel about anything, refer it to Allah and the messenger. If you believe in Allah in the last day, this is best and more suitable to achieve the end. Section 9, the Prophet must be obeyed. Hast thou not seen those who assert that they believe in that which has been revealed to thee, and that which was revealed before thee? They desire to seek the judgment of the devil, though they have been commanded to deny him, and the devil desires to lead them far astray. And when it is said to them, come to that which Allah has revealed and the messenger, thou seest the hypocrites turning away from thee with aversion. But how is it that when a misfortune befalls them on account of that which their hands have sent before, they come to thee swearing by Allah, we desired not but good and concord? But, these are they, the secrets of whose hearts Allah knows. So turn aside from them and admonish them and speak to them effective words concerning themselves. And we sent no messenger, but that he should be obeyed by Allah's command. And had they, when they wronged themselves, come to thee and asked forgiveness of Allah, and the messenger had also asked for forgiveness for them, they would have found Allah oft returning to mercy, merciful. But no, by thy Lord, they believe not until they make thee a judge of what is in dispute between them. Then find not any straightness in their hearts as to which thou decidest, and submit with full submission. And if we had enjoined them, lay down their lives, or go forth from their homes, they would not have done it except a few of them. And if they had not done what they are exhorted to do, it would certainly have been better for them and more straightening. And then we would certainly have given them from ourselves a great reward, and we would certainly have guided them in the right path. And whoever obeys Allah and the Messenger, they are with those upon whom Allah has bestowed favors from among the prophets, and the truthful, and the faithful, and the righteous, and a goodly company are they. Such is the grace from Allah, and Allah is sufficient as knower. Section 10, believers must defend themselves. O you who believe, take your precautions, then go forth in detachments, or go forth in a body. And among you is he who would hang back. Then, if a misfortune befalls you, he says, Allah indeed bestowed a favor on me, as I was not present with them. And if bounty from Allah comes to you, he would cry, as if there were no friendship between you and him. Would that I have been with them? Then I should have achieved a mighty success. So let those fight in the way of Allah who sell their world's life for the hereafter. And whoever fights in the way of Allah, be he slain or be he victorious, we shall grant him a mighty reward. And what reason have you not to fight in the way of Allah, and of the weak among the men and the women and the children who say, Our Lord, take us out of this town, whose people are oppressors, and grant us from thee a friend, and grant us from thee a helper. Those who believe fight in the way of Allah, and those who disbelieve, fight in the way of the devil. So fight against the friends of the devil. Surely the struggle of the devil is ever weak. Section 11, attitude of the hypocrites. Hast thou not seen those to whom it is said, withhold your hands and keep up prayer and pay the poor rate? But when fighting is prescribed for them, lo, a party of them fear men as they ought to fear Allah, or with a greater fear, and say, Our Lord, why hast thou ordained fighting for us? Wouldest thou not grant us respite to a near term? Say, the enjoyment of this world is short, and the hereafter is better for him who keeps his duty, and you shall not be wronged a whit. Wherever you are, death will overtake you. Though you are in towers raised high, and if good befalls them, they say, This is from Allah, And if a misfortune befalls them, they say, this is from thee. Say, all is from Allah. But what is the matter with these people that they make no effort to understand anything? Whatever good befalls thee, O man, it is from Allah. And whatever misfortune befalls thee, it is from thyself. And we have sent thee, O Prophet, to mankind as a messenger, and Allah is sufficient as a witness. Whoever disobeys the messenger, he indeed obeys Allah. And whoever turns away, we have not sent thee as a keeper over them. And they say obedience. But when they go out from thy presence, a party of them plan by night, doing otherwise than what thou sayest. And Allah writes down what they plan by night. So turn aside from them and trust in Allah. And Allah is sufficient as having charge of affairs. Will they not then meditate on the Quran? And if they were from any other than Allah, they would have found it, they would have found in it many a discrepancy. But if any news of security or fear comes to them, they spread it abroad. And if they had referred it to the messenger and to those in authority among them, those of them who can search our knowledge of it would have known it. And were it not for the grace of Allah upon you and his mercy, you would certainly have followed the devil, save a few. Fight then in Allah's way. Thou art not responsible except for thyself, and urge on the believers. It may be that Allah will restrain the fighting of those who disbelieve, and Allah is stronger in prowess and stronger to give exemplary punishments. Whoever intercedes in a good cause has a share of it, and whoever intercedes in an evil cause has a portion of it, and Allah is ever keeper over all things. And when you are greeted with a greeting, greet with one better than it, or return it. Surely Allah ever takes account of all things. Allah, there is no God but He. He will certainly gather you together on the day, Allah, there is no God but He. He will certainly gather you together on the resurrection day. There is no doubt in it. And who is more true in word than Allah? Section 12, how to deal with the hypocrites. Why should you then be two parties in relation to the hypocrites while Allah has made them return to disbelieve for what they have earned? Do you desire to guide them whom Allah leaves in error? And whomsoever Allah leaves in error, thou canst not find a way for him. They long that you should disbelieve as they have disbelieved, so that you might be on the same level. So take not from among them friends until they flee their homes in Allah's way. Then if they turn back to hostility, seize them and kill them wherever you find them, and take no friend nor helper from among them, except those who join a people between whom and you there is an alliance, or who come to you, their hearts shrinking from fighting you or fighting their own people. And if Allah had pleased, He would have given them power over you, so that they would have fought you. So if they withdraw from you and fight you not and offer you peace, then Allah allows you no way against them. You will find others who desire to be secure from you and secure from your own people. Whenever they are made to return to hostility, they are plunged into it. So if they withdraw not from you, nor offer you peace and restrain their hands, then seize them and kill them wherever you find them. And against these, we have given you a clear authority. Section 13, murderer of a Muslim. And a believer would not kill a believer except by mistake. And he who kills a believer by mistake should free a believing slave, and blood money should be paid to his people unless they remit it in as alms. But if he be from a tribe hostile to you, but if he be from a tribe hostile to you, and he is a believer, the freeing of a believing slave suffices. And if he be from a tribe between whom and you there is a covenant, the blood money should be paid to his people along with the freeing of a believing slave. But he who has not the means should fast for 2 months successfully, a penance from Allah, and Allah is ever knowing, wise. And whoever kills a believer intentionally, his punishment is hell, abiding therein. And Allah is wroth with him, and he has cursed him and prepared for him a grievous chastisement. O you who believe, when you go forth to fight in Allah's way, make investigation and say not to anyone who offers you salutation, thou art not a believer. Seeking the good of this world's life, but with Allah there is an abundant gains. You too were such before, then Allah conferred a benefit on you, so make investigation. Surely Allah is ever aware of what you do. The holders back from among the believers, not disabled by injury, and those who strive hard in Allah's way with their property and their persons are not equal. Allah has made the strivers in their property and their persons to excel the holders back a high degree, and to each Allah has promised good, and Allah has granted to the strivers above the holders back a mighty reward. High degrees from Him and protection and mercy, and Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. Section 14, Muslims who remained with the enemy. As for those whom the angels cause to die while they are unjust to themselves, the angels will say, "What were you doing?" They will say, "We were weak in the earth." They will say, "Was not Allah's earth spacious, so that you may have migrated therein?" So these it is whose refuge is hell, and it is an evil resort. Except the weak from among the men and the women and the children who have not the means, nor can they find a way to escape. So these, it may be that Allah will pardon them, and Allah is ever pardoning, forgiving. And whoever flees in Allah's way, He will find in the earth many a place of escape and abundant resources, And whoever goes forth from his home fleeing to Allah and his messenger, then death overtakes him. His reward is indeed with Allah, and Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. Section 15, prayer when fighting. And when you journey in the earth, there is no blame on you if you shorten the prayer. If you fear that those who disbelieve will give you trouble, surely the disbelievers are an open enemy to you. And when thou art among them and leadest the prayer for them, let a party of them stand up with thee, and let them take their arms. Then when they have performed their prostration, let them go to your rear, and let another party who have not prayed come forward and pray with thee, and let them take their precautions in their arms. Those who disbelieve long that you may neglect your arms and your baggage, that they may attack you with a sudden united attack. And there is no blame on you if you are can someone help me? And if there is no blame,
inconvenience.
Thank you, ma'am. And if there is no blame on you, if you are inconvenienced on account of rain, or if you are sick, to put away your arms and take your precautions, surely Allah has prepared a basing chastisement for the disbelievers. So when you have finished the prayer, remember Allah standing and sitting and reclining. But when you are secure from danger, keep up regular prayer. Prayer indeed has been enjoined on the believers at fixed times. And be not weak-hearted in pursuit of the enemy. If you suffer, they too suffer as you suffer. And if you hope from Allah what they hope not, and Allah is ever knowing, wise. Section 16, hypocrites are dishonest. Surely we have revealed the book to thee with truth, that thou mayest judge between people by means of what Allah has taught thee, and be not one pleading the cause of the dishonest. And ask the forgiveness of Allah. Surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. And contend not on behalf of those who act unfaithfully to their souls. Surely Allah loves not him who is treacherous, sinful. They seek to hide from men, and they cannot hide from Allah. And He is with them, and they counsel by night matters which He I'm sorry, I'm going to read that again. They seek to hide from men, and they cannot hide from Allah. And He is with them when they counsel by night matters which please Him not. And Allah ever encompasses what they do. Behold, you are they who may contend on their behalf in this world's life. But who will contend with Allah on their behalf on the resurrection day? Or who will have charge of their affairs? And whoever does evil or wrongs his soul, then ask forgiveness of Allah, will find Allah forgiving, merciful. And whoever commits a sin commits it only against himself, and Allah is ever knowing, wise. And whoever commits a fault or sin, then accuses of it one innocent, he indeed takes upon himself the burden of the calumny and a manifest sin. Section 17, secret
You can
counsels of
stop
the
there. We have a reader.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Sister Sophia. Is that how you say your name? Sophia or Sophia?
I'm sorry, it's my daughter's. My name is Javidia. Secret counsels of the hypocrite. And were it not for Allah's grace upon thee and his mercy, a party of them and had certainly designed to ruin thee. And they ruin only themselves. And they cannot harm thee in any way. And Allah has revealed to thee the book and the wisdom and taught thee what thou knowest not. And Allah's grace on thee is very great. And there is no good in most of their secret counsels except in him who enjoins charity or goodness or reconciliation between people. And whoever does this, seeking Allah's pleasure, we shall give him a mighty reward. And whoever acts hostility to the messenger after guidance has become manifest to him and follows over other than the way of the believers. We turn him to that which he himself turned to make him enter hell, and it is an evil resort. Section 18, idolatry to condemn. Surely Allah forgives not setting up partners with him, and he forgives all besides these to him he pleases. And whoever sets up a partner with Allah, he indeed goes far astray. Besides him, they call on nothing but female divinities, and they call on nothing but a rebellious devil, whom Allah has cursed. And he said, certainly I will take of thy servants an appointed portion, and surely I will and surely I will lead them astray and excite them vain desires, and bid them so that they will slit the ears of the cattle, and bid them so they will alter Allah's creation. And whoever takes the devil for a friend, forsaking Allah, he indeed suffers a manifest loss. He promises them and excites them vain desires in them. And the devil promises them only to deceive. These, their refuge is hell, and they will find no way of escape from it. And those who believe and do good, we shall make them enter garden in which rivers flow, to abide therein forever. It is Allah's promise in truth. And who is more truthful in word than Allah? It will not be in accordance with your vain desires, nor the vain desires of the people of the book. Whoever does evil will be requited for it, and will not find for himself beside Allah a friend or helper. And whoever does good deeds, whether male or female, and he or she is a believer, these will enter the gardens, and they will not be dealt with a wit unjustly. And who is better in religion than he who submits himself entirely to Allah while doing good to others, and follows the faith of Abraham and the upright one? And Allah took Abraham for a friend. And to Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. And Allah ever encompasses all things. Section 19, equitable dealings with orphans and women. And they ask thee a decision about women. Say, Allah makes known to you his decision concerning them. And that which is recited to you in the book is concerning widowed women, whom you give not what is appointed for them, while you are inclined to marry them, nor to the weak among the children, and that you should deal justly with orphans. And whatever good you do, Allah is surely knower of it. And if a woman fears ill usage from her husband or desertion, no blame is on them if they effect a reconciliation between them. And reconciliation is better. And avarice is met with in men's mind. And if you do good to others and keep your duty, surely Allah is ever aware of what you do. And you cannot do justice between wives, even if you wish it, but be not disinclined from one with total disinclination. So you leave her in suspense. And if you are reconciled and keep your duty, surely Allah is ever forgiving, merciful. And if they separate, Allah will render them both free from want out of his ampleness. And Allah is ever ample giving, wise. And to Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. And certainly we enjoin those who were given the book before you, and we enjoin you too to keep your duty to Allah. And if you disbelieve, surely to Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. And Allah is ever self-sufficient, praiseworthy. And to Allah belongs whatever is in the heavens and whatever is in the earth. And Allah suffices as having charge of affairs. If he pleases, he will take you away, O people, and bring others. And Allah is ever powerful to do that. Whoever desires the reward of this world, then with Allah is the reward of this world and the hereafter. And Allah is ever hearing, seeing. Section 20, hypocrisy condemned. O you who believe, be maintainers of justice, bearers of witness for Allah, even though it be against your own selves or your parents or near relatives, whether he be rich or poor. Allah has a better right over them both. So follow not your low desires, lest you deviate. And if you distort or turn away from the truth, surely Allah is ever aware of what you do. O you who believe in Allah and his messenger, and the book which he has revealed to his messenger, and the book which he revealed before. And whoever disbelieves in Allah and his angels and his book and his messenger and the last day, he indeed strays far away. Those who believe, then disbelieve, again believe, and again disbelieve, then increase in disbelief. Allah will never forgive them, nor guide them in the right way. Give good news to the hypocrites that for them is a painful chastisement. Those who take disbelievers for friends rather than believers, do they seek for might from them? Might surely belongs wholly to Allah. And indeed, he has revealed to you in the book that when you hear Allah's messages, disbelieving in and mocking at, sit not with them until they enter into some other discourse. For then indeed you will be like them. Surely Allah will gather together the hypocrites and the disbelievers all in hell. Those who await for misfortune for you, then if you have a victory from Allah, they say, were we not with you? And if there is a chance for the disbelievers, they say, did we not prevail over you and defend you from the believers? So Allah will judge between you on the day of resurrection. And Allah will by no means give the disbeliever a way against the believers. Section 21, end of the hypocrites. The hypocrites seek to deceive Allah, and He will requite their deceit to them. And when they stand up for prayer, they stand up sluggishly. They do it only to be seen of men and remember Allah but a little, wavering between that and this, belonging neither to these nor to those. And whomsoever Allah leaves in error, thou wilt not find a way for him. O you who believe, take not for disbelievers for friends, rather than the believers. Do you desire to give Allah a manifest proof against yourselves? The hypocrites are surely in the lowest depths of the fire, and thou wilt find no helper for them, save those who repent and amend a hold fast to Allah and are sincere in their obedience to Allah. These are the believers, and Allah will soon grant the believers a mighty reward. Why should Allah chastise you if you are grateful and believe? And Allah is ever multiplier of rewards, knowing. Part 6. Allah loves not the public utterance of hurtful speech, except by one who has been wronged. And Allah is ever hearing, knowing. If you do good openly, or keep it secret, or pardon an evil, Allah surely is ever pardoning, powerful. Those who disbelieve in Allah and His messengers and desire. Walaikum salam.
Yes, so I think we're going to stop here because the part ends, part 5 finishes after verse 147.
Yes,
so
yes.
We're going to stop. Thank you so much, sis, for reading. Does anyone have any comments? Type 1 in the comments or raise your hand and you'll have the floor. So press the number 1. One that would like to make a comment. Any comments, please? Sister Victoria.
Assalamualaikum.
Alaikum salam.
One thing that stood out to me was section 10, believers must defend themselves. And I think it's mostly because I think sometimes, at least for myself, like we tend to take a level of punishment because we think that it is like, it's difficult to express. So we take a level of punishment to not be perceived a certain way, you know, like by not, like it's almost in alignment with arguing in the best manner, right? So instead of arguing at all, we will take what someone gives us even though it's at a disadvantage to us, or maybe it's not in alignment with what we believe or what we know to be true. And this was like a, almost like a directed, like, defend yourself. You don't have to be, loud. You don't have to be boastful. You don't have to be any of these things. But it is okay to defend yourself, especially when you know that you have been wrong.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Beautiful. Thank you. Yes. Sister Mariama? That's very good, Sister Victoria. Is there anyone else? Any more comments from today's reading? And thank you, Sister Beatrice and Sister, it was Sister Sophia, right? That was reading?
Sister Javidia, yes.
Oh, okay. Sister Javidia. Thank you so much for reading today. Let me look in here. Any more comments, family?
Assalamu alaikum. Can you hear me, sister?
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to make a brief comment about, I'm trying to find it. I was trying to write notes as I was reading, but there was a part in there where it says that if you are among disbelievers, to shorten your prayer, and once you are in what Allah deems as safety, that to go back to those, those times that have been appointed. And I just found that very interesting because, in my personal life, I have dealt with that. So I just found that very interesting that would come up this morning. And just to, and just the reiterance, like to reiterate constantly about 102. Thank you, Sister Victoria. About how we should conduct ourselves around disbelievers and even hypocrites who say that they believe, but would be secretly mocking you or want you to be in error with Allah, or for you to default in your duty to Allah as a Muslim. So I just think that that's very key, especially in a day like the one that we're living in, where it's so easy for people to stray you away from the straight path by very simple things. Satan makes, evil fair seeming, and, it could be in, a simple conversation, and you might partake in that and be like, hold up, So I just found that very, very interesting. And the last point that I wanted to make was that, everything that we need is here in this book. So I'm thankful to you for putting this together. And this is definitely something that was much needed for me, just to be in the presence of others that want to strive, who are striving to be as just as they possibly can in their duty as believing people, as believing women, as as a Muslim. So I thank you for that, and thank you for allowing me to share.
All praise be to Allah, Sister Beatrice. Very good remarks. Thank you. Sister Octavia, any more comments?
Assalamu alaikum. I don't really want to go into detail. I just wanted to bear witness. Like the sister said, Allah has given us all the answers, and He's given us guidance, like through any and every situation. And for me, I've never fully read the Quran. And when I do read it, well, in the past, more recently, I've been understanding it more. But in the past, it's like another language. And just reading this morning has validated so much for me, and it's kind of scary. I'm kind of like shaking. But I appreciate you as well for putting this together, because yeah, I'm gonna do some reflecting after this. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. That's all.
All praise be to Allah. Thank you for your remarks, Sister Octavia. The last part, did you guys hear? Because I didn't hear it. It kind of cuts. Maybe it's me on my side. But Sister Victoria, you had a remark, another comment?
Yes, ma'am. I think she was just thanking you for putting the call together, if you didn't hear that part. The thing that, like, as everyone was sharing their reflections, I was looking over my notes, and like the reoccurring theme that I saw that was like a place of peace almost is that, like, we are rewarded for being believers and keeping our duty, you know, like, I think we've heard so many times that, you know, doing the things of this world, you get so many rewards, you get so many pleasures, almost to believe that the opposite, you know, is just, you know, duty, but there are rewards in doing that. So yeah, I wanted to point that out, because sometimes it can seem as if it's just upward hill battle, you know what I mean? Trying to stay steadfast, trying to stay dutiful. But we are rewarded, you know, and it's all about perspective, you know, how we perceive the rewards that we receive. And I know in here, I forgot where, but he mentioned, you know, gratitude, how we will be rewarded for in our gratitude. And then the other thing, let me see. Oh, the other thing when sorry, in the reading when he was talking about how, in a sense, that hypocrites will take care of themselves. You know what I mean? Their punishment will be given unto them. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in, you know, our duty in giving punishment to the hypocrites, but it's not really our duty, you know, that will take care of itself in time. So we just have to focus on our walk and what we believe, and allow Allah to do what he does. So that was it.
Thank you so much for your remarks, Sister Victoria. Thank you. And it actually makes me think of when I was reading, I realized that, you know how sometimes us people, we feel that someone is wronging us, or something that someone says, we are aware of it and we're like feeling wrong about it. In the Quran, it validates that. I feel like that's such a blessing, because it's like, it validates, yes, people will talk about you. Like, yes, people will slander your name. Like, but with Allah is your reward. So count on Allah, seek refuge in Allah. Allah is the refuge from all these situations in life where there's always something that happens. To me, I used to not believe for a long while that people can talk about someone else in such a mean or evil way, where there are people that do that, and the Quran validates people do that. And don't let your heart be hurt so much. Find your refuge in Allah. So that, to me, that's what I got when I was reading. All is from Allah. All is from Allah. And we are responsible for ourselves. and others are responsible with Allah for themselves. Sister Beatrice?
Assalamu alaikum. Just one last comment that I wanted to make, just to add on to what Sister Victoria was saying about reoccurring themes, just that Allah is forgiving and merciful. And, you know, sometimes and this is true for myself, and I've seen this with other individuals, that sometimes they feel like they have wronged themselves to the point that, you know, it's not possible for Allah to forgive me, you know, and they don't seek his mercy. And then we end up injuring ourselves further. And you know, I had to get a point in my life. I had to get to a point in my life where I was like, you know, I'm tired of living this way. You know, what I'm doing is not working, and you know, I have to seek Allah's face and strive to have that relationship with him, and sincerely ask for forgiveness, and have that, you know, and receive. That's the biggest thing. Receive that mercy that he gives to you, and you asking sincerely for forgiveness. That's the biggest thing, was just to receive that. Because sometimes, you know, we ask for forgiveness, and then we begin to doubt, well, did Allah really forgive me? You know, is he really showing me mercy? And then we, you know, in our own doubt, we're moving in a way that's not 100%. You understand? So thank you for allowing me to share that last point. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. Beautiful points. Thank you for sharing that, because I don't know, that touches me, because there is a point in life where I was catching hell more because I didn't believe that Allah really forgives our sins. Like sometimes we punish ourselves more because of the guilt, which is, I feel that's the state of mind of hell, is the feeling that we feel inside ourselves when we have wronged and we know it, and how we feel inside is not so good anymore. It doesn't feel so good anymore. We're not so clear about ourselves with Allah, and our own doubt, our own guilt will keep us from receiving, like you said, Allah's mercy, Allah's forgiveness, Allah's blessings, because we are clouding our minds with our own thoughts of how we would judge ourselves, you know, if we were God. But God is not, we are not Allah. Allah is the best knower. Allah is the best judge and the best helper, and he's ever returning to mercy. So thank you, Sister Beatrice. That I needed to hear that. Any comments? Any more comments, please? Type 1 if you have any more comments. Oh, you can't hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Is there anyone else that would like to leave a comment with us?
I kind of have one.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get like too personal, but one of the verses that stood out to me was verse 148, where it says, Allah loves not the public utterance of hurtful speech except by one who has been wronged. Allah is ever hearing and knowing. Sometimes, well, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say. Okay, somebody, I think it was you, had mentioned like how a person can feel when they feel like they've been wrong, but it's been unnoticed and stuff like that. I think that in some instances, it may be necessary for you to speak out about a thing publicly, so that attention can be brought to it and you can receive the justice that you deserve. And for me personally, I feel like I was trying to go about doing things in a righteous way, but I've never read this in the Quran. So I was trying to follow protocols and all of this different kind of stuff, and just holding everything. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Holding everything in can weigh you down mentally. So anyways, to sum it up, if you are feeling stuck in that, that position and you feel unheard or whatever, Allah will. Just send this knowing that Allah will forgive you if you do what's necessary to get the justice that you deserve, is what settled with me when I read this. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And it's absolutely true. Really seek ye first the kingdom of Allah and its righteousness. So that's where we need to seek Allah, seek refuge in Allah, and also do good to ourselves. We're responsible for ourselves. Yes. Thank you so much, Sister Octavia, for your comment. Is there anyone else that would like to share a comment with us before we go?
Assalamu alaikum. One last comment, Sister Ahmadine.
Yes.
And I'm glad that Sister Octavia brought that up, because that was one of the verses that I wanted to, that I was also reflecting on. Allah loves not the public utterance of hateful speech. For me personally, I went through that with family. And, the situation was very, very hurtful. And like she said, you try to deal with it in a righteous manner, but it was pushed to the point where, I had to defend myself. And I was troubled for a period of time. Like, was I too harsh in my speech? Was I too sharp with my words? Was that, was I behaving in a manner that was, displeasing to the God? Was I being unjust to that individual? Was I being unjust to myself? So I really had to go to Allah to for confirmation that what I did in defending myself was the right course of action. And I just found that very interesting. So yes, ma'am. I just wanted to just briefly say that, because sometimes you will bite your tongue and not speak to something that is hurtful or harmful to you. And then that individual or individuals will continue to do that, testing you. But you have to set that, that boundary, and that, listen, this is not acceptable. You are not going to treat me this way. You're not going to do this, to me. So we have to righteously defend ourselves. So thank you for allowing me to share.
All praise be to Allah. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I have one last thing, that what Sister Octavia said. This part, maybe I'm gonna read it again, just so, because I feel like it's chapter 4, verse 135. 4 verse 135. Oh, okay, here it says, be maintainers of justice. Does anyone have it? Let me read it. I'm gonna go home here.
Sister Amadine, I have it here in front of me if you need me to read it.
Oh, I got it. Thank you. Thank you for it.
Yes,
All you believe, be maintainers of justice, bearers of witness for Allah, even though it be against your own selves or your parents or near relatives, whether it be rich or poor. Allah has a better right over them both. So follow not your low desire, lest you deviate. And if you distort or turn away from truth, surely Allah is ever aware of what you do. But here it says, all you believe, be maintainers of justice, bearers of witness for Allah, even though it be against your own selves. Like if we do wrong, maintain justice with Allah, but also maintain justice for self, because usually justice when we wrong someone or someone wrongs us, but maintain justice in both. It's a balance. So that's what came to mind. Oh, Sister Victoria, you're asking me? It's chapter 4, verse 135. And seeking justice is justice or else. You know, the Million Man March, justice or else, was seeking justice. And it's not just as a nation, but as one person, because the self-improvement of one is for the whole community. So when we seek justice, we also need to seek justice for ourselves. Okay, if there's, praise be to Allah. If there's no more comments, is there anyone that would like to pray to conclude our call for today? And I will see you tomorrow. Is there anyone that would like to pray? Okay, I will do it today. I'm gonna read the confidence prayer and then I'll do the other prayer. I wanted to read the confidence prayer for us today. Okay, here it is. In the name of Allah, prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. I seek the protection of Allah, my Lord, from every fault and turn to him. O Allah, thou art the author of peace, and from thee comes peace. Blessed art thou, O Lord of glory and honor. Nothing deserves to be worshipped except Allah. He is one and has no associate. His is the kingdom, and for him is praise, and he has power over all things. O Allah, there is none who can withhold what thou grantest, and there is none who can give what thou withholdest. And greatness does not benefit any possessor of greatness as against thee. Surely I turn myself to you, O Allah, striving to be upright to him who has originated the heavens and the earth. And I am not from among the polytheists. Surely my prayers and my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate has he, and this I am commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. There is no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. And I've been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults. So grant me protection against all my faults. For none grants protection against faults but thee. And guide me unto the best of morals. For none can guide unto the best of morals but thee. And turn away from me the evil and indecent morals. For none can turn away from me the evil and indecent morals but thee. O Allah, bless Muhammad and bless the true followers of Muhammad, as thou did bless Abraham and the true followers of Abraham. For surely thou art praised and magnified. And O Allah, make Muhammad successful and make the true followers of Muhammad successful, as thou did make Abraham and the true followers of Abraham successful. For surely thou art praised and magnified. Ameen.
Ameen.
So thank you so much, family, for joining us today. As you already know, I'm going to say it. Take a walk if you can. a little bit to breathe the fresh air of the morning, the electricity outside, the sun is perfect in the morning for us. So have a blessed day and assalamu alaikum. See you tomorrow.
Walaikum salam.
Alaikum salam.
Walaikum salam.
Alaikum salam.